So welcome to the line, and I'm here with Ryan of Better in Our Backyard and Lisa with Giant. Really cool name, by the way.
Thank you.
I said to one of your team, I was like the movie? And they made me feel old because they had no idea what I was talking about. So it's a movie with Rock Hudson and other people that I can't remember. But yeah. So
I don't know what the movie is either.
Shut up, Ryan. My gosh. Anyway, I'll text it to you. If you like old cowboy movies.
Oh, I do.
So
yeah.
It's about the oil industry. So, so we're here at Mining and Energy Expo, Better in Our Backyard, in Minnesota, and we're kind of right between the Twin Cities right now, aren't we?
We're in the Twin Cities.
Yeah. So this is kind of your guys' brainchild, an event. And I'm a big proponent of team. And so I love the story of how you guys have come together to bring this about. So while I know Ryan, Lisa, I don't know you except that I've seen you spying on me on LinkedIn. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Giant and what you're doing here?
Well, I'm really happy to be here. Ryan and I have worked together for almost a decade, I think.
Yeah.
When I look back, one of the things that we do at Giant is it's really a two-veined approach. Strategic communicators, whatever you want to call us, marketers. Really, at the end of the day, we help our clients accelerate.
Yeah.
Either accelerate their revenue growth through sales and marketing enablement, which is, marketing jargon in itself, but it's really about all the things that marketing can support in driving revenue for a client.
That's pretty huge in
value.
marketing because you can spend a lot of money on marketing and not actually have it turn into revenue.
Right.
And I did see that on your LinkedIn, you were talking about the importance of that, and
Yes.
that is essential.
Yes. Revenue growth, shareholder value, that's what makes the world go round. So big part of our business at Giant. And then we also work on acceleration of what I would call reputation. So shareholder value looks like stakeholder engagement in some cases, or really working with our clients to through organizational change management, drawing down their vision statements, working through their values, just helping our clients cascade different projects to help them increase their internal reputational value.
Absolutely.
And so those are the lanes that we play in. We have about 25 people on our team on any given day, and then another 6 to 12 contractors that we may pull in. And so I'm really proud of the work that our team has done.
You should be.
Thank you. Yeah, we have a great team. We have a great, clients. I feel really fortunate, like we were talking about earlier. This isn't really work for me. This is just, I get to show up and I happen to be paid for it.
I think one of the things that's really interesting about brand building or marketing, as you're calling it, and strategy, is the importance of bringing. Sometimes organizations can feel like, well, we can tell our story. We can do that. And obviously, you need to be involved in it, but I think one of the things that is really critical that people don't realize is the importance of bringing in outside perspectives. You talk about strategy and vision statements and things like that, and it's like, I remember when I built my first business, I didn't understand how people didn't know what I thought the vision of the company was, because I'd actually never outwardly communicated.
Yeah.
It was up here, and I thought, well, obviously this is what it is, and nobody knew. And so I had to bring in an outside team to help me with strategy, and then to challenge me on how I was communicating that it made sense to them, And so I think that's a huge part. I think that's really cool that you're doing that for people. And it seems like that's something that you've even applied here in the way that you guys are communicating what Better in Our Backyard is about. And
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Ryan's done a tremendous job.
I would agree.
Killer. I mean, he knows his target audience, right? So at the end of the day, not everybody can be in your target in your target audience. None of us have enough money to reach them.
Yeah.
So it's really knowing your target audience, knowing what your value is to them, and also knowing what they want to hear. So often that's a misconception where I was talking about it in our panel session. Companies may want to talk about why they're so great, or why their technology is so much better than it used to be, or why their stakeholder engagement plan is more effective. yet at the end of the day, they're not listening to who's across the table. And that's the number one job of a marketing and communication and really a sales professional. You've got to listen before
100%.
you can frame up your message.
Absolutely.
And I think we've listened. Ryan has been listening to, what started in Minnesota, what started in Northeast Minnesota, Northwest Wisconsin, as the area that we're better in our backyard was established. He quickly picked up on the opportunity to listen to broader audiences and was invited to join in that dialogue. And that is ultimately what I think drove the value for people to come here. I mean, it's been his relationship that has, you've banked those dollars, if you will,
Absolutely.
with your colleagues that are now here to support the organization.
Yeah, it's a capital, like those relationships is like a capital that you can't measure really, or like you can't put a dollar to. Like there's really, relationships are everything. Like you see posts like that on LinkedIn all the time. Your network is your net worth, right? And that's how I look at, and it took me a while to learn that. And a lot of that is because of coaching from Lisa. I think we all in our professional lives have mentors or people in your life where it'd be kind of scary to think of how your life would be if you didn't have them or met them, and Lisa's one of those people for me. So, it's just been really fun to do it. I mean, when I first met Lisa because I ran for city council in Duluth, and I actually, part of the reason why I ran, I mean, I was ambitious, I wanted to, change Duluth at the time, but my voice just cracked for the first time today. But I ran on kind of a drunken bet. Like I told the buddy I would do it. And
you do know we record this, so we're going to put it out there.
That's okay. That's
He
all right.
ran.
He was 21.
I mean, they say you tell the truth when you're at that point, right? So it wasn't anything, horrible, but I ran, and then I'm like, oh crap, what did I do? And then, and then Lisa contacted me, and then, just right away, right when I met her, and I just, it was also kind of a game changer for me mentally too, because at the time I was in project management for an electrical contractor, and I just kind of came to the realization
that's why
people do this stuff for money. Like they go out and they talk to people and they sell things and they do fun marketing stuff. They work in the mining industry, and that's I just got my head spinning on, okay, I gotta make a change.
Well, I think that's the thing that I love about what you're both doing, and you want to make a difference. You want to make a positive impact. And boy, that doesn't, and you said this, Lisa, that's something I think that people don't realize. That makes work not like work. Then you feel like, wow, I actually think that we're created in a way that we're supposed to be about purpose in what we do. And you guys are both doing that. I love that you say that you ran for city council because you wanted to make a difference. And Lisa, you probably can speak to this. Ryan, you're making quite a difference. You're making quite a difference with what you're doing here. More so than you would be in city council. That is the reality of it. And I mean, I've talked to many people today who, this organization and what you're doing is making a difference in the industry. And it's so important and it's so essential to not only the United States of America, but our world.
Yeah.
Like I love the name Better in Our Backyard. And some people can maybe think that, well, that's kind of selfish, but it's not if you really understand what our backyard is. Like when we are better in our backyard here, that affects our backyard around the world. Our backyard is not just the United States. Our backyard is, if we can lead an industry and doing things responsibly and encourage people to do that, and we start to lead the industry overall. I've talked with some very high-level people over the day, and they've talked about their intention to be the tip of the spear in doing things differently. And not only in doing it differently, they're already doing it that way. We're just trying to tell the stories to highlight what they're doing, and then that affects the rest of the world. And, well, if we're going to compete, then we need to do it that way too.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one thing I've noticed too with building a lot of our membership and the companies that we're bringing in. There are companies that are doing things different. Like I'm looking at one consulting group right now out of Fargo. He just started his company a couple of years ago, and they're growing dramatically. And he used to work for another member of mine called the Jamar Company, the owner of it. And that's what I've just noticed that we're attracting companies that are naturally doing things different. And I think that's why I asked you to come. I mean, I just really look at you're doing podcasts differently. You're doing it the right way. You got the right video camera set up. Like, it's not over a Zoom call like I've done it before. I mean, it's professional, and it's like, and I saw you working with Keaton and others, and Keaton's doing things differently. Aaron Witt's doing things differently. And it's like, I want to surround the brand around people who are doing things differently, even if it doesn't mean like what we're talking about, like dollars or anything, because 15 years from now, we will be the standard. We will be the people that everyone's looking up to.
Absolutely.
That's one thing I admire out of Ryan. I mean, he is so driven, right?
Yeah.
You know, I saw that as when he was running for city council, and, you know, not afraid to have dialogue, not afraid to have difficult conversations, had to pull you out of your shell a little bit.
Yeah, I was anxious all the time when I spoke, and
yeah,
I was a much different
yeah.
kid or man or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I was a much different young man then. And then another thing too, Lisa first told me about the idea of Better in Our Backyard. We were in a meeting with Kelsey Johnson, and we were getting close to the election cycle, and then both of you kind of casually mentioned, "Oh, we have something for you if you lose," which we kind of all knew. It was a 2-month blitzkrieg campaign, and and I didn't even know if I wanted to win. I mean, it was so nerve-wracking. I mean, it was just, but it was fun though at the same time. Like, anxiety and excitement are the same thing, right? And but yeah, they mentioned the idea of Better in Our Backyard, and immediately I was hooked. Like, I'm like, I love that name, and I'm like, what's it about? It's about the trades and mining and pipelines and all that. I was just like,
all the sexy
stuff. Like, when can I do this? And the pay wasn't even that. It wasn't even like about the pay. I remember I got like my previous company doubled my pay to go help manage a data center in Tulsa, and I still was kind of pestering Lisa here and there, like, okay, are you guys ready with your seed funding yet? Like, can I, and then when it was finally time to do it, I just, I spent my own money to hop on a plane back.
That's because you're made for a purpose. And
I just wanted,
purpose, it's not about the money.
I just wanted, I really wanted to do it.
Well, and I mean, let's be real here. The money will come. When we're younger and we're about things, I mean, I'm a big proponent of legacy.
Yeah.
And legacy is long-term thinking. I have talked with so many people in the mining industry, and you want to talk about an industry that is about legacy thinking. A lot of these people are involved in projects that they might in their lifetime not see the reward of. Mm-hmm. And what kind of people do you think that attracts when they're investing in something not even for their own future, but the future of who is coming after them?
Well, and to add to your point, a great example of that is the Stibnite project in Idaho. I mean, they're literally trying to revive a mine that was randomly open for World War II. Like, it's like they're like trying to bring back an old mine that, we didn't have any antimony, and we opened it up so that we could make bullets to fight the Germans and the Japanese. I mean, it's incredible always. And that's another thing too I've noticed with the mining industry that fascinates me is history is constantly repeating itself. Like, you look at the mines and the mines across the country, it's all intertwined with history, like the Iron Range.
It is.
There's so many former taconite mines that were used specifically for World War II. Even in Arizona, Resolution Copper. It's kind of interesting how they find veins in Arizona. They look at what mountain landscapes look like, and if they're, the topography is a certain way, they think that there's a high chance that there's a crap ton of copper. And like Resolution Copper, how they found that vein was they were rushing to open up a mine called the Magma Mine during World War II because we needed copper. And so like even Resolution Copper has World War II ties. And even the North Med project, I mean, that's sitting on a mine that, ran during that time, or nearby taconite mines. So it's like everywhere you look throughout history, there's a purpose behind it. And what we're seeing over the next couple of years, like the history is repeating itself. Like, or there's another project too in Nevada, a tungsten project. Guardian Metals, you interviewed JT.
Yeah.
He's trying to reopen up an old tungsten mine that ran during World War II.
Well, and a lot of people don't realize, I think this is the interesting thing. You bring up World War II and history repeating itself. Mm-hmm. I think World War III, and not to sound scary or weird, but it's kind of like this deceptive thing. We're already in it.
Yeah.
It is already going on. And is what I mean by that, I'm an electrician by trade, and you talk about data centers, and you talk about tungsten. I was interviewing someone a few weeks ago in a manufacturing facility that is involved in data centers and working on individual nuclear power for a data center so that they have their power. And they have to line that stuff with tungsten. Now, we have, yeah, right.
I didn't know that.
And my point being is, if we do not think that there is a race for AI, like there was a race for nuclear during World War II, then we're not paying attention. And when people are concerned about the way that things are mined and things, and we want to be responsible in mining, but we have to bring it back to our shores. We have to be investing in that, because if we don't, someone else is going to be the ruling power someday.
Right.
And they're going to do it however they want. They're going to do it on our land.
Well, yeah.
And that's why, I think that's the whole premise, right?
It is.
It's better here to do it in our backyard versus somebody else's backyard where they're using child labor and all the things. And that was the not in my backyard. Back to the branding, if you will. It was the counter to not in my backyard, and I can't take credit for the name itself. There were many other people that came up with the name.
I fully understand what you're saying.
We brought it to life.
Yeah.
And Ryan has truly, I think, grown the brand into something that can be. It can transcend industries and trades, and it is better if we do it here.
Yes.
And we've talked about this for years. We knew that Ryan had the right DNA, I'll call it, and ambition, drive.
It's called grit.
All of them, all the things.
Yeah.
And he's treated this organization like a business and has built it, it's tipped, right?
Yes.
And I always think about, even though I could see that this was the destiny, things had to happen, right? We had to go through COVID. We had to wrestle with projects in Minnesota not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
But ironically, you can finish. But ironically, though, the project's not going forward in Minnesota is what led it to be scalable, because, and that's when I realized Resolution Copper was going through the same thing. And then I started naturally being fascinated by that. I'm like, holy crap, their press releases sound very similar to what the press releases are here. Pebble Mine in Alaska, Ambler Metals in Alaska. Perpetua. The country can't even make its own bullets, and we're delaying a project that will give us the ability to do that. And I'm just like, this is not just Minnesota. And then I just got fascinated. And then it was just a couple of years there. And I'm sure your experience, building a business. My theory behind it is that it takes 3 years to build a good foundation. And
absolutely. And
I almost needed COVID. Like, I needed to not have any distractions, not be asked to go to any events, where I'm just kind of like laser focused. And I was almost like a hermit for a few years, where I just was like,
you have to. There's an aspect,
and you can't focus on the nose.
You have to be able to do that.
If anything, the nose drive me or whatever, or like one of my heroes was Tom Brady, and Tom was like 43, just signing with the Buccaneers, and like anytime I had a bad day, I'd be like, okay, well, a 43-year-old is playing quarterback right now in the NFL and is looking to win a Super Bowl. Like, I have no excuses right now not to perform today. Yeah. And then it's like you got to kind of develop this like kind of like naiveness almost, where like you got to have it in your head. You just got to be consistent. Like,
a lot of people throughout history would not have sucsucceeded if they would have known.
Yeah, you got to. There's a certain naivety to it.
Absolutely.
Like, you kind of have to like think it's going to happen while everyone else is kind of, like if I would have told my board when they hired me that we'd end up going on Fox News, we're going to go into 10 different states, we're going to be doing a conference in Minneapolis, we're going to do all this stuff. They'd pat me on the back and like, oh, that's nice and stuff. But then they're going to go to the bar and have a couple beers and like, can you believe this kid? Like,
one of the guys,
he'll learn.
One of the guys here earlier today actually said that he told you that this wouldn't happen. Or we don't need
Peter,
to name names.
Yeah. No, I'll say it. Where is he?
I told him that's not gonna be easy.
No, there's nothing that's easy that's worth having. That's the reality of it. And I think what is so exciting about what you guys are doing and what is going on is this really is the call to, during World War II, as a country, we came together.
Yeah.
I'm a big gun guy, and I love like the 1911 pistol.
I couldn't tell with
you couldn't tell with
your
that
logo.
And you can
I missed
actually
the gun.
you can buy a 1911 pistol that's made by Singer Sewing Machine from World War II, because everybody retooled their manufacturing facilities to make bullets, to make guns, to make airplanes, to make those things.
That's a good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about coming together as a country to be like, all right, how do we win this race?
Yeah.
This is totally off topic. You know why the Japanese never
I love it.
invaded? You know why the Japanese never invaded America, or why they never went to California after they
I think
decimated
I
our
do, but I
Navy?
want you to say it.
Because the prime minister is like, why would I go into a country where there's a gun behind every blade of grass?
That's exactly
and he was
right.
talking about Americans having the ability to own their own guns, firearms.
We're off topic, but if
That's
you want to
totally
know
off
that
topic,
playing
yeah.
out,
We
just
probably
watch.
should edit that one out.
Yeah.
It's not a very, yeah.
No, that's pretty good. You should watch Red Dawn with Wolverines from the 80s.
I love Red
Yeah,
Dawn. I like the old one. The new one is not
Okay,
very
we
good,
got to
but
stop. This isn't about Josh and Ryan's movie choices, although we should
The
hang
Russians
out.
did not feel the
Maybe,
same way in
maybe
that
that
movie.
would be a way to reach, new viewers. You should have a session just on.
I don't
you
know.
know,
I think
the
I think people already assume that we're a Republican group, so I got to stay out of that. I keep telling, no, we're not. We like,
Yes.
we
Bipartisan.
we're bipartisan.
It is about
it's
working
just really
together.
tough to find a certain side to voice their. It's
It is
just
true.
It's but
Well, that's why we're
it's
telling
but
the
it's
story.
possible. Yeah, I mean,
I think that's
yeah.
actually probably the biggest challenge that we've had.
Yes.
Right? When I think about growth of the organization or the reasons why some entities won't, support or don't want to call on the support. And I think that's an area that, it's unfortunate that, and that's change that we still need. We still need to see more bipartisan support for industry. And
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
this is not just one party or the other.
it shouldn't be a partisan. Critical
No.
minerals
It
should not
shouldn't
be
be.
a partisan issue.
And,
No.
and honestly, you're succeeding at that, because I've talked to both sides today.
Good.
Yeah.
And the reality is, the thing that I love about the people that are here is they're talking about the future of our country and how we do that together. And it really doesn't matter if you're red or blue. It matters if you care about tomorrow and you care about the ability for us to take care of the world in a way that we're promoting values that communicate value of people. And that's what we all want. I mean, that's what it's about. So as we come to a close here, because I know that you guys, the event's still going on, Lisa, for you, in your expertise, how do companies, what is it that they need to do to invest in telling their story, and how should they go about starting that?
Hire Giant. Okay.
I don't disagree.
Well, I think, back to just basic principles of what we do. You really have to know what you're good at.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to know, and it's even better if you have a purpose, and that's also what you're good at, right? So being authentic and knowing who your target audience is that you're going to look for to generate revenue or increase your reputation. You have to know who you are, and then you have to be willing to invest
Yeah.
in what it will take to reach those
Yeah.
target audiences, and knowing that, I mean, and you know this probably better than me, when
I doubt it.
I mean, you have to be everywhere these
Yeah,
days.
it's true.
People ask me all the time, well, where do I need to, what social channels or what mediums? And
Yes.
I mean, you have to be where your target audience is. That's first and foremost. Turns out there's still a lot of places.
Well, and one of the things that I would say to that, you do have to be everywhere. And being someone who was overwhelmed by that, because into my mid-40s, I didn't have any social media. I wasn't out there at all. And I loved it. I wore it as a badge of honor. But what I will say is, while I was extremely overwhelmed, it's just like anything. Once you push through it, it's not as hard as you thought it would be.
Right.
And the reality is, you focus on where your audience is the most, and then you can just let it overflow into those other areas.
It's the tipping point, right?
Absolutely. And you have to be about that. Ryan, I would ask you, what are you looking for? Like, what would be a win for you from those here today, these past couple of days, for you to hear from the people that have attended? What would be a win for you?
Well, it's delivering values. So like a member just walked away and said, yeah, I just got a new client. like
on.
literally about a half hour ago, and that's exactly what I want to hear. I want it to be, no matter what you're paying for the ticket to come in, like people know that they're going to walk out of here with an ROI, a real one, and or real leads. And so that's, to me, is just delivering value and making sure that people are having a good time. And that's the best compliment that I can get, is if someone tells me that their business or their career is better off because they attended an event at Better in Our Backyard.
Awesome. So how do they, for those that are listening, where do they go and what do they do to become a member and get into that?
Well, you visit our website and then you can join through there. We have a member site, and then just follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook, and we're doing some stuff on TikTok and Instagram and X, and but also just to attend our events too and just see what you like. I mean, some companies like our styles, some don't, and especially on the social media side of it. And that's partly too why I wanted to do this expo, is that, they might not find value in how we advocate, but maybe they'll find value in something like this.
Absolutely.
And so, I'm just trying to make sure that with Giant that we're diversifying our strategies in terms of how we message, but then also in terms of how we deliver value.
What is your website for them to go to?
www.betterinourbackyard.com.
Good man. All right. So I'm going to return that question to you. For those who want to be able to communicate, and the thing that I think that is really, I love your name, Giant, because I feel like that's the thinking and the plan of how you want to look at it. And so what would you say is your win for, I mean, obviously I think you're experiencing your win here, but for those companies who feel overwhelmed about how to communicate and how to do that, where can they find you, and how do they become a part of utilizing your services to be able to, and when I say your services, I think what you want to understand is you want to utilize Lisa's team at Giant, because she has people from different aspects that are willing to work together for you to actually have an ROI.
Mm-hmm.
People keep saying the event's going well today, and it's because their team is managing the specifics of it.
And they are. Sure, They're managing me, and that's really hard to do. So
they manage me, which
they
I
manage
guarantee
me,
you
that's
is
what
harder.
a good team does.
Which I didn't realize that's actually a good feeling.
It is.
You got people like
if you have the right people.
Like,
if you have the right people.
Yes.
So Lisa, what would you say to different people who are listening that are in organizations that are like, if I just have the right team, where do they find you? And
well, also on social, LinkedIn, simplygiant.com is our website, and that will lead you to learn a little bit more about the work we do. I feel like, one of the things that we do really well is, even if we're not the right fit, I'm really, I get energized by helping connect dots, and that's my real purpose, I suppose. And so I'll make the connections. If we're not a good fit, I'll let you know, because nobody wants to work with somebody where it's not a good fit.
Yeah.
So
There's a great Christmas movie about that called The Miracle on 34th Street.
Yes.
Where Santa Claus is, talking to people at Macy's, and people want the different gift, and he sends them to all the different stores. And I think that right there, Lisa, is the difference between a protect and defend mindset and a learn and grow mindset, which the reality is, if you want profitability and you want success, protect and defend is the way to death. Learn and grow is the way to success and a future. And that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want. So
and I think it's a maturity thing. I think it takes a while for people to understand.
Well, that's a whole other podcast
anyway.
when we talk about my immaturity from when I was young.
Isn't that like 27-year-old boys, men,
She's going to start talking about brain development. This is a
I'm
great
just
place
kidding.
to close
That's
the podcast. So thank you both.
I'm certainly guilty of that way.
Privilege.
Take it that way.
Stop. Oh, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Seriously. Thank you both for stepping up to the line. I appreciate being invited here and being able to be a part of this. It has been hugely exciting and fulfilling to me to be here. And I think what you guys are doing is great. I hope that someday people are telling the stories about the people that are at this event, just like we're telling the stories about World War II, and that we've made a difference for our future. So
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Josh.